And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me today is Mr. G.I. Dave. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
You know what? I can't complain. Just living the life. Living the life.
Nice.
Here we are with another throwback retro review. This is our cartoons from our day and age. You know, cartoons from when we were a kid. We're going back, checking out some episodes, refreshing our memories, and talking about our memories from when we were a kid to watching it now and what do we think now going back and watching it. And today we're visiting none other than G.I. Joe. This was out from 83 to 86. There was 2 seasons, but it was like 95 episodes. And I think like one of them was like 30 episodes and the other season was like 60 episodes or something like that.
Jesus, just all
There
year
was
long.
some movies involved as well, but let's get into this. I mean, as a guy, this was the cartoon for us growing up, right? This was predominantly you watched GI Joe, you had the GI Joes, you maybe even had your GI Joes and you took them apart and made super GI Joes. I don't know if you did that. I know I did. But what do you got over there, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the music hits, it's right back to the early '80s. You know, as far back as you can remember. You know, I don't remember these TV shows, but I remember the sounds. You know, whatever, because I was still rather young. I love the music, and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Holy crap!" The intro song is a minute long, and then as you keep watching these shows, not only is it a minute long, then it's a 30-second recap. And I'm like, okay. And so by the time you get to the story, which is absolutely insane, most of them are so I was lost immediately. I couldn't have checked out quicker. I was definitely hitting the fast forward button quite a bit because it was just
Oh
it
man.
was so dumb. I'm like, but for what we had back then, the animation was great. Or I liked it a lot. The animation was fine. There's so many stupid jokes, little quips. Just they're opening and closing things with rays. I like the sounds though. The sounds throw you back, like the phasers or blasters and all that kind of stuff. Because there's no bullets. It's just pew 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 and whatnot. And as you're watching these shows, are you like counting? Like I had that. I had that bridge builder. I had that guy. And
Dude,
so
I had so many.
you're thinking of all these characters and all this stuff that you had. And it's a lot of nostalgia. It really is. It doesn't age well. It's got a lot of sexist remarks. You get
It
that
was
one guy that was so old, that captain for the naval fleet or whatever, and he goes, "I'm so old, the whales ask me for directions,"
right.
and he was not really having a woman being on a boat. It's just 1983, man. What can you say? I don't know. Other than that, I don't know.
At the same time, the Joes were all about promoting her as a woman and being a lead. It's like because he was like, no, look, I'm with her, bro. Let's go, yo, Joe.
Yeah,
You
she's my
know,
partner or whatever. And,
yeah.
it's like
Did you notice that there's music playing the entire time?
the entire time.
Like the entire time, which is crazy. Like
It really
maybe
throws you
here and
off.
there. At first it did. By the third episode, I was good. Like
Yeah.
I was past the point that it was becoming a distraction to okay, this is just part of it, and I kind of accepted it because you don't have anything like that now. Like
Right. Right.
that's just something that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just funny, like they're going and putting on disguises. You got Shipwreck and Snake Eyes putting on disguises, and Shipwreck or not Shipwreck, but Snake Eyes keeps his helmet on. Worst disguise ever, right? Like I see you, bro. I know who you are. Like I feel like at Cobra headquarters when you're being signing up and going through training, there are certain Joes that they have. Hey, this is this guy, and Snake Eyes is gonna be one of them, right? So, and then they're walking around with their pets the entire time. Like he's got his parrot on his shoulder, and he's got his Snake Eyes has his dog with him, and you're just like, again, I feel like this is information everybody in Cobra will have, right?
I
Like,
saw that parrot in that space, the like F-14 or whatever, the fighter pilot. I was like, "The hell's he doing with that parrot on his shoulder?" And then they take they launch up into space. There's a dog running around. I'm like, no one's strapped in with the damn dog. I couldn't get past like just the stupid amount of absurdity, and I'm sure when I was a kid, I loved this show. It was a sit down. I got to watch this. Like I said, I had every single toy my parents would buy me,
Mhm.
and I did enjoy it. I liked it. Just like we were talking about He-Man, and what was the other morning recess? I mean, this is even
Mhm.
further back. This is way back in our childhood.
Oh yeah, this
And
is little kid time.
yep, just little kid time, and it is so weird. Like when I go back, I'm like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and I thought it was funny, like because like they end the episode, right? The first episode they end it, and it's like a cliffhanger. Like, oh no, they're trapped in this area, and you got the spikes coming at them, and the circular saws coming at them, and you're like, are they gonna get out next week on GI Joe? And they show them out of it. Like, well, you just ruined my cliffhanger. Now I don't have a cliffhanger. Now I know they get out. And they give you at the end of every episode, they always gave you next week on GI Joe and would show you a good 15-second clip of what's going on. This is going on, and this is going on, and this person's here, and this person's there, and you're like, this seems like a lot of information you're giving us. Like, especially when you start spoiling the cliffhanger ending that you had, and you show that Shipwreck and Snake Eyes make it out of there. Like,
I don't think it matters to a kid, but it doesn't make any sense. Like now you're watching it, but I'm telling you, the intros and exits, they take forever. Like they're giving you everything. And it's like, okay, the show still was like 22 minutes long.
yeah,
Like it's pretty freaking long. But then again, there wasn't a lot of commercials back then. You know what I mean? They
no,
weren't pumping out, it. I don't know. For me, it was excruciating to watch.
I
I
enjoyed it. I had fun
can't
with
get
it.
that. You did?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. The other thing that seemed off to me was Cobra just seems so much more advanced than GI Joe. Like, well, more advanced, more organized, more well put together than GI Joe. And like GI Joe, like everyone, they just wear whatever they want to. Like you got the one guy walking around wearing like a football jersey. Like you're going into battle, bro. You might want to put on more than a football jersey, right? Like I don't
They
know.
leave their backgrounds on them. You know what I mean? Like if they were
Every
famous
single one
for
of
or
them.
doing something else, they're like that keeps the individuality, and that's the
Mhm.
reason they want you to do it because they can't sell the same the same looking person, the same outfit
Oh, I get it,
to
but
kids. They got to really mix it up. You know what I mean? And this
maybe
is cash grab city.
oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Because like I said, I had 60 GI Joes. I don't know. I had it. I had them all. Like it was absurd the amount of GI Joes that I had. Um, you would have like I'd have like a birthday party, and like there was one year I remember getting 4 different Storm Shadows. And back then you used them all. It's not like it was now. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go take it to Walmart and return it and get another one or something like that. Back then, you got it,
Yeah.
you know? So that's when I started incorporating, okay, it's real easy to take the GI Joe apart. They just had a, Phillips head screw in the back of them. You unscrew that, and now, bam, now you're taking them apart and you're putting them together. Well, let me put his head on here and his legs here, his arms here, and then this body, and bam, look at this guy. Started making your own GI Joes.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
So, you got anything else on this one?
No, this will not be a pleasant revisit. This is not
Oh,
the seal of approval. I
yeah.
can't.
See, now if you go a couple more years forward, that's when you start getting when they started doing the PSAs at the end of every episode. Knowing is half the battle.
See, I think I remember those, and I might skip ahead to check that kind of stuff out because that's where I remember it is knowing is half the battle
Yeah,
and things like that. I think it's way too early in my time, so it's not hitting anything other than the music. You know what I mean? I was 3 at this point.
right.
Mhm.
So yeah, the knowing half the battle that started in 1985. So you got to go forward. You got to go forward a little bit before you get to that, but it's there.
Yeah,
But guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all that fun stuff. If you have anything you want us to watch, use the email over at parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.